In 1998, No Limit dropped numerous albums. That was Master P's and No Limit's big pay year. In that same year, Master P was interviewed by Black Enterprise, The Source, and Forbes magazine. But I'm only going to touch on a couple of albums from that year and how some of those artists was influenced by Tupac. Now let's continue off with this. If Master P or any of the No Limit artists were paying homage to Tupac, I want to thank those who left comments in the comment section. But yes, it was around the Bout It days when Master P was touring with Tupac. I remember watching the BET series called Journeys in Black, where Master P was a guest on that special. And Master P did mention that he was on a road with Tupac on his episode. He said after they finished performing their song and went backstage, Tupac replied or said to them, "Bout it," referring to the song that Master P and them performed. And Master P replied, "Yeah, bout it." So this was like around the 95 era of No Limit. But before I get into the rest of this information on this video, I want to add that Master P did a tribute to Tupac called R.I.P. Tupac on the West Coast Bad Boys Volume 2. The song begins off with the instrumental of Hail Mary, but the beat of that particular song is also sampled from Tupac's Ambition of a Rider. I like the part when he said about Tupac, he was like, "You was like ghosts to niggas in the East Coast. Makaveli's #1 in every record store." If you hear the lyrics in that song, he was expressing how Tupac taught the game to him and others. He said, you talk about, taking your pain and running with it and not being a coward, bowing down or cowering out. But he was genius for putting out this song at a time when the hip-hop community was sensitive to the death of Tupac. And I want to add this here. You had Tupac and Biggie before Master P. They were both iconic figures. One was holding down the East Coast, the other was holding down the West Coast. And at this time, P was coming in to hold down the South Coast. Well, look at this pattern. All three of them did a song with Bone Thugs and Harmony. Like, I see this was a formula for those powerhouses who was making certain moves. And Master P followed right in the footsteps to get himself on the track with Bone Thugs and the Harmony on the Last Dawn album, which is called I forgot the name of the title right now, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna get back to that on this video because I have a lot that I really want to talk about. It's just going to be a part 3, by the way. But let's talk about this. I'm in 98 of No Limit, the Charge It to the Game album, Silk album. This was a top selling album. I believe Silk went like 3 times platinum. But let's go over some of the Tupac influences on this album. listen to the song. Mama always raised me. P was like, Mama always raised me. No, I'm sorry. It was called Mama always told me, but Papa never showed me. I live my life as a thug. Only thing I want to do is ride and sling drugs. You hear that flow of Pac in that song. That's some Tupac kind of influence. What about the track titled Thuggin' Me? He said, girl, feel me. Girl, feel me. I want to know you gonna love me till they kill me. And then what else he said? He said, no, then you got the how many niggas gonna ride with me? How many niggas gonna die with me? You remember that track? That was also on that Charger to the Game album. He said, I'm not trying to get my Z's on, but my cheese on. Trying to bang me a chick to get my B's on. Tattoo, weed, and Hennessy. Scream, no limit to the enemies. You know, Tupac has that trademark of saying Hennessy a certain way. And a lot of the artists on No Limit, you notice, when they mention Hennessy in that song, they express it in the same way as Pac. And then you had a song on that album, the last song actually, this is on Silk album by the way, but this is Master P's lyrics and flow. But on this song called Me and You, he don't necessarily rap on the song, but at the beginning he said KEVIN RIP, talk about his brother Kevin, rest in peace. But then he says Hail Mary while he's making his prayer on the intro of that song. And we all know that nobody wasn't really saying No Limit. Nobody wasn't really saying Hail Mary in the music industry prior to Tupac. You started hearing artists mention Hail Mary in their songs when Tupac started expressing it. But let's go into C Murder's Life or Death album. Man, this is a overlooked album. This album had nice storylines, lyrics, and great production. Listen to that song, Second Chance. C and P took it home on that track. You know, check out the hook. He said, from the cradle to the grave, there's a bunch of young niggas trying to get paid. And then he say the tattoo and Hennessy thing again. Tattoo and Hennessy, you know. But you know that tattoo, weed, and Hennessy is something that's always quoted and expressed by P. Then you had that song called Constantly in Danger. And what about Don't Play No Games? Don't play no games, boy. BB Bop. Killing. You ain't got shit to die for. Niggas start chilling. That was C Murder rapping within that same flow of Tupac. How about the song called Show Me Love? He said, show me love. When you see me on TV, show me love. That song had that same emotions, flow, and feelings of a Tupac song. Listen to his flow and his rhythm. This is C Murder, by the way. C Murder was influenced by Tupac as well. But another song that stuck out to me on that Life After Death album was Watch Your Enemies. No, I'm sorry, it was called The True Picture Me a True Nigga. This is Mr. Magic's entry into No Limit. He killed that verse in that song. I'm trying to remember the lyrics that Magic, he said, picture me a true niggas. See, Murder said, real niggas go die. Cause real niggas gonna die. But listen to Magic's verse, his first verse, but mainly his second verse. Listen to how he took it home. He was saying, but he said the same thing. He said something about smoking weed and drinking Hennessy. Put you in that same expression again, like Master P with the weed and Hennessy thing. But then you had the song called The Strong Survive. You had P, he said, dear Lord, he said, hey Lord, do you help me and tell me why my little brother Kev had to die. I still hear the gunshots when I sleep, so I say fuck the world and the police. On that whole Tupac rhythm and flow. But then you had that the truest shit I ever said. A nigga might wind up dead, but money comes bad times. But these days you gotta have a strong mind. That's some Tupac thing right there, you know. And it's not to say that I disrespect us, no limit, because they put these albums together well, and they filled a void in hip hop that nobody else filled. You know, they really came off. And then you had that making moves with Dougs. I'm making moves with Dougs. I'm making moves with Dougs. I'm making moves with Dougs. Let's see, Murder. And then he wrapped up. He said, I wake up and grab my strap and I cock it back before I grab my hat. Then I page my niggas Fiends and Mac, cause we be strapped like the men's in black. And one time don't bother me. I paid my dues for a robbery. Just cash the check for 200 G's. You know? Yeah, that's how he came off. That's the Murder, you know. And how about watching enemies? He said, watch your MF enemies. Stage trap, cause the ghetto was trapped. And then Magic said, I've been hustling. He said, I've been hustling from the beginning, making cash on DNG. I hope you niggas feel me. He's talking about the DNG. He's talking about Desire and Galvez, a section in the Knife Ward. And then on that album, on that same album, the last Tupac influence on the Life and Death album was what was that called? It was called I'm trying to remember. I think that was it right there. No, it was Ghetto Ties. And then that was it. But I want to go into Snoop album, but for 1 second, because there wasn't that much of a Tupac influence on that album. But the first song on that album, which was called Snoop's World, and you know, picture me ballin', third ward nigga at the Cali of New Orleans, Cali of New Orleans, you know. But that beat for that song was sampled from Tupac's Still Ballin'. That song on Snoop World. But I'm gonna go into Magic album real quick and then I'm gonna get out of that. Mr. Magic had his debut on No Limit first on No Limit. On No Limit, C Murder's album. Prior to the Life and Death album, Magic wasn't on No Limit artist albums. C used to go to the Knife Ward where a lot of people wouldn't go at to watch unsigned talent perform. He saw Magic perform and was happy and brought him to the tank. He asked P to sign him until his True Records label took off. But that Sky's the Limit album was fire. If you listen to the track Ball to Fall, I Got Love for You, Never Bite the Hand That Feeds You, Money Don't Make Me, and that Sky's the Limit was fire too. And then you had that Life's a Bitch, and then that song you could hear that Tupac influence and feel over it, man. I love how these guys took off and continued in the legacy of Tupac. And this is something else I want to mention too. I don't know how true this is, but do y'all remember the Homies and Doug song by Scarface? It was said that Face mentioned to P that he had a unreleased Tupac freestyle. P asked him, "What you gonna do with it?" They went back and forth about this freestyle. P suggested, some was saying, not me, this is what people were saying. P suggested that they make a song and put their verses around Tupac freestyle to make the song Homie and Doug's. And it was said that it was green lighted, it was given a go ahead to put the song together, and that P gave Scarface $1 million for this song. And they said that P was happy because he wanted to bring home that validity that he rode with Tupac. And he got criticized too because they said it's not actually Tupac's song, it was nothing but added verses to a song. And like Tupac mentioned Master P on the song by name, so he got criticized for that. But that was a banging ass song too, man. I saw the video, you know, P had on that green mink, I think. It was tight though. But plus there was another rumor, was that P had approached Afeni Shakur to buy in Tupac's catalog. I don't think this true, because at this time she was disputing the claim with Death Row Records to get his catalog. This was during the time of the Last Dawn album. And if you go on that Last Dawn album, I mean, if I go on the influences of Tupac on the Last Dawn album, I'll be here for days. That's a lengthy album. It got numerous songs and lyrics on that song, and I'll be here for days breaking down the Tupac influences, the flow, the expressions, and everything on that album. But Beats by the Pound, they rocked on that album. That intro was it was off the hook. What he say? He said, "Oh dear America, this is Mr. No Limit. So you want to get rid of gangster rap? So what did gangster rap get rid of you? How do you like those apples? You don't want your kids to grow up listening to good American music? They want that bowdish. F media, the politicians, and the government, all that stuff." You know, he was fire on that album. And then he rips it off. He was like, "I made millions for raps. I couldn't die in scraps. No limit, we strapped. Duh, niggas bust cats. I live my life as a rider. I'm lost at heart. Play the pieces to the puzzle, but they tore me apart. I've been to jail for things I didn't do. Niggas banged at my motherfucking crew. We retaliated, so we killers." And he's like, "Ah!" I'm bugging out. But yeah, that's that flow. But then he gives a shout out on the end of that song, the intro for The Last Dawn. He said, "Rest in peace, Tupac, Biggie, and my brother Kev." He said, "Y'all took the kiss of death, so I could be the last dawn." He said, "Feel my pain, feel my pain." You know. But then you had the track that followed up that I mentioned before with Master P and Bone Thugs-n-Harmony called Dead and Gone. So, and he was genius for getting on the track, because he said, all right, Biggie did it with Notorious Dogs, Tupac did it, I'm gonna do my Bones version with the to put myself as the third wheel of the Holy Trinity. So to say, but P did his thing, and then you had that The Ghetto Is a Trap. That song is full of a lot of energy. You know, No Limit put together some nice songs. And my song was Ride. That song called Ride. They used those 808s on that track. And you know what's so crazy about this track right here? It's similar in sound to Tupac's No More Pain on the All Eyes on Me album. That's crazy. Listen to it. Listen to the same scheme, beat scheme, and everything. And on that same track, P gave Suge a shout out on that song. He said, Suge, I feel your pain. And then he said, No Limit, Death Row United. This is P words on that album. Y'all go back and listen to it yourself. That went over the people's heads. And then you had the song called Black and White, which is like one of those social songs, you know, appealing to racism and all that, things that Pop touched and talked about. Then you had Mr. President, which was a song that Pac had. That song, they had that song called Mama Raised Me, which featured Snoop and Slim, which is a heartfelt song. Then you had that song called More to Life. It's one of those songs that really touch you inside. And then my song was that that How Many Souls Deceased. That song used to get me hyped up. He said, ask yourself who the village that you know. And if you ask me, it be some niggas at the Calio like Glenn Miss, San Skilly, Pee Wee, out broad neck Slim, some dead, some in jail, G. And the gang is so real. You gotta hustle like the last dawn till you get killed. Man, that song used to have me hyped up, man. I used to blink, cause it sound, that beat sound like this beat. It was like a Wu-Tang Clan beat on GZA album. I think of that song called Life of a Drug Dealer. That then. But anyway, but then you had people saying that P was, or not P, but people were saying, I'm sorry, people were saying that on that song Snitches, that was a Suge Knight diss. I don't know. I listened to the song. I can't really tell you. For those who think it was, leave something in the comment section pertaining to that Snitches. But P put you in your feelings on that Goodbye to Your Homies, you know, in the same way how Pop put you in your feelings. And I got another No Limit videos coming up. I'm gonna do part 3 of this, but I'm gonna do another No Limit video. I'm not gonna drop the title right now, but I'm gonna get to that. And I got a couple of other videos on different subjects that I told you about before. So I'm gonna take you back to the streets of New Orleans, but you know, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get right back to that. So bear with me on that, because I want to try to do everything right. I don't want to be putting out no misinformation, and I don't want to be, you know, just like I said, putting out misinformation. But then you had that song called In My City. Do you hear how P and Mac rapped on that song? That's how it would have been if Pac and Nas would have ever did a track together. But P and Mac took you home on that track. You know, these guys, man, the energy and the whole format of that song is straight New Orleans. You know, No Limit bring you home. But people act like No Limit didn't drop no classics. You know, people want to hate due to No Limit being from the South. and they got a good payday off their works. You know, you had all the other people who wanted to have their lyricists and this and that and boom, 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 and this and all that, but they didn't get paid off their works. And they supposed to be and they say, oh, like P said, oh, we just doing this for the love of hip hop. You want to get paid off of something that you love. You're not just gonna be doing it just to be doing it, and you got family, your kids, and all that. That's straight BS. If they could have got paid the same way P and No Limit and Cash Money and them got paid, they probably wouldn't be hating that much. But to them, they had that mindset that I'm from this place and that from that place. The South is weak, the South is country, and this and that. And to see somebody from the South come up like that, from so-called out of the mud, and got it how they live, and rose to the top, and was able to branch off into other endeavors, makes other people mad. So, you know, I used to get hate on traveling to different parts of the country. Oh man, you playing that there, man? Oh, come on. You know, getting criticized. You know, me and my cousin, we was banging mad groups and artists that when you go to the East Coast, people look at you like you was funny, because in the East Coast, mainly in New York and New Jersey, they had they set people they played. They played, you know, Wu-Tang Clan, the Biggies. They played, who else? Nas, the Mobb Deeps, the Locks. They had like a good set 10 artists they played all the time, and nobody, if anybody wasn't in that circle, they wasn't getting played. But man, my cousin, we banging old school No Limit. I'm talking about No Limit before the 97 time. We was banging Tombstone records like Cheeky Black and Low Key album. Who else we was banging? We was banging the early Cash Money stuff, Big Boy stuff. They laughed at me because of Mystical. They said, cause we watching a show at my cousin friend house, and there was that show I forgot the name of it, but I know the girl on the show, she had a crush on Mystical. I think it was called Patricia Crushes, something like that. She had and they said that we have a guest on the show. He's a rap star, and his name is Mystical. And my cousin friends and them laughed. They was like, who this clown is? We don't know who this dude is. And he got weed in his head too. And I'm trying to tell them how dope he was. They wasn't even trying to hear me. But it was this whole thing where if you from the South that you can't get on musically. And you already hear the stories from Mystical and other interviews on how he got booed performing, and Keith Murray had to help give him courage to tell him, nah man, keep doing your thing. And Mystical kept on going on with his music journey, and look what Mystical up to this day. I know I went off the subject a little bit, but I had to make that point on how the South get hated because the South made it their business to get paid for their works. And I'm gonna say something that I ain't saying in a long time, that a lot of people hate that I say in my videos. You follow? That was my trademark, to say, you follow? Yeah. And I was also saying a lot, you know, and I apologize for that, because I was going into these things without having a set layout of what I want to talk. So I was digging in my head, and I was saying them like P said, to bring it out. But yeah, but then you had that song on the Ghetto Dope with Mia X and P called Ghetto Love, which is a banging song. And then P and C took it home on that Eternity. They closed out on that song, man. You see how they took you home on that? How many niggas gonna die for me? How many niggas gonna ride for P? Yo, they killed it on that song, you know. And I love the video of that song on the Last Dawn movie. You know, they had the trailer with them, and they had all the guns, and you had Boz, 390, Big Hurt, you know, Hot Boy Jimmy C. You had all those No Limit hitters on that. And I used to watch that with my relatives, man. The ones who did appreciate that. And we used to have a good time. We used to be out playing in the streets in the north. It's me spending my summers and all that there. And let's go in the house and pick that Master P Last Dawn movie, because I was the one that had the album. I had the movie and the album, and I brought it with me. I had that Last Dawn album maybe like 3 times because I popped it playing it to death. But yeah, but I know some of y'all, I'm about to close this out right now, and I know some of y'all probably saying, you forgot to say this, you forgot to say that. Stay tuned for part 3. You follow? But nah, but shalom, salams, Godspeed.